Lesson 1 asked us to use reasoning to reconcile Fish's argument that plagiarism is an insider's obsession with Griffith's claim that plagiarism is unethical behavior. Given the nature of the assignment, I thought it would be appropriate to start with a famous quotation from Thomas Paine. To argue with someone who has renounced the use and authority of reason is like administering medicine to the dead or endeavoring to convert an atheist by scripture. Griffith and Fish seem to have opposite views concerning the moral underpinnings of plagiarism rules. Griffith believes that plagiarism rules are based on principles of right and wrong. Although Fish does not condone plagiarism, he does argue it is not a big moral deal and has no underpinnings in philosophy. He asserts that plagiarism rules are no different from rules governing sports such as golf. Is Fish's position supported by sound reasoning? Fish's position can be deconstructed by asking 3 questions. First, is plagiarism an insider's obsession? 2, does Fish's analogy to sporting rules support his argument? And finally, do prescriptions against plagiarism have a moral or philosophical underpinning? In connection with the first question, I agree with Fish that there may be an obsession with academic writing rules. However, for the most part, these rules have nothing to do with plagiarism. Writing rules can be difficult to follow. The Chicago Manual of Style, which sits on my bookshelf, consists of 1,027 pages. Other citation manuals are equally complex and lengthy. Although the Geospatial Program Citation and Reference Guide is relatively short, it does incorporate other guides by reference. The following quote does not follow any of these citation guides, but is not plagiarism since the source of the quote is acknowledged. Although in an academic setting I can be dinged for not properly citing Mark Twain, I cannot be charged with plagiarism since I did not attempt to pass off Mark Twain's words as my own. Fish's claim that the rule against plagiarism is more like the rules of golf than the universal rule against stealing is questionable. Fish is correct that many sporting rules do not rest on a moral foundation. However, he fails to address whether violating the rules can be unethical. Indeed, most people would agree that these rules, if violated to obtain a winning advantage, would constitute cheating and would be more like stealing. Indeed, cheating in sports and other competitions can land you in jail. Fish's sports analogy lacks persuasiveness since he never addressed the moral significance of violating them. One can look at ethical issues through a variety of lenses, ranging from a utilitarian lens to a care ethics lens. For purposes of this discussion, I thought it would be interesting to apply the 3 guiding research principles set forth in the Belmont Report. The Belmont Report's 3 basic ethical principles relevant to human subject research seem relevant to our discussion of plagiarism. The principles are respect of persons, beneficence, and justice. Respect for persons involves respecting a person's autonomy. As the Belmont Report stated, to respect autonomy is to give weight to autonomous persons' considered opinions and choices while refraining from obstructing their actions unless they are clearly detrimental to others. Copying someone's work without attribution does not give any weight to the original writer's opinions or choices. Beneficence involves, in part, doing no harm. Plagiarism can cause harm in a variety of ways. For example, in a class graded on a curve, a plagiarized work might give the plagiarizer a grade higher than they deserve and give someone else a grade lower than they deserve. In connection with justice, the Belmont Report notes that an injustice occurs when some benefit to which a person is entitled is denied without good reason or when some burden is imposed unduly. Plagiarism can clearly result in someone being denied a benefit without good reason. In every case, the original writer is denied the credit they deserve for their work and could also be denied other benefits such as academic awards or prizes. Ultimately, Fish undermines his argument in the final paragraph of his essay, suggesting that everything that preceded it was fancy philosophical argument. His statement that they took something from me without asking sounds a lot like theft or a lot like violating the basic ethical principle of doing no harm. A lot has been written about plagiarism. Legal jurist Richard A. Posner wrote a book on the subject called The Little Book of Plagiarism. Posner argues that plagiarism is a species of intellectual fraud. However, he did warn that the subject of plagiarism requires cool appraisal rather than fervid condemnation or simplistic apologetics. Sources and references for this presentation are set forth on this page. Thank you for listening.